सो हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम टू द लॉ कम्युनिकेंट्स। जैसा कि आप सब लोग जानते हैं, हमारी गाइडेंस सीरीज चल रही है एंड आज हमारे साथ एक बहुत ही रिस्पेक्टफुल एंड स्पेशल गेस्ट हैं, जस्टिस भंवर सिंह सर, हु इज़ अ रिटायर्ड जज फ्रॉम इलाहाबाद हाई कोर्ट। इन्होंने अपनी LL.B कंप्लीट करी थी 1967 में। 1969 में ही कंप्लीटेड हिज LL.M। 1970 ये जुडिशियल सर्विसेज का एग्ज़ाम क्लियर करके यूपी जुडिशियल सर्विसेज में ज्वाइन कर लिया था। वहीं से इनकी धीरे धीरे जर्नी स्टार्ट हुई। इन 1979 ही वॉज अपॉइंटेड एज हायर जुडिशरी जज। 1992 में ये बने थे इलाहाबाद हाई कोर्ट के रजिस्ट्रार। Then 1998-1999 he was Registrar General in Supreme Court of India, the apex court, and from 1999 he served as the Justice in Allahabad High Court. So if you see 1967 से लेके अभी तक 54 years की journey, so you can have an idea that this journey is going to be full of experiences and knowledge. And thank you so for being with us today, giving us your time.
Thank you,
sir.
Thank you.
So sir, let's start with the interview. Our first question would be you कि आपकी ये जर्नी towards law, towards judiciary, ये जर्नी शुरू कहाँ से हुई और कैसे हुई?
As you mentioned, it started in the year 1967 when I obtained my law degree, and thereafter I joined master's course in Merit College and obtained master's degree in 1969. In 69 itself, I appeared for the UP Judicial Services examination, and I cleared it on the strength of my merit. And then in 1970, I joined Judicial Service as Munsif Magistrate First Class.
Okay.
In those days, the first step of District Judicial Service was known as Munsif Magistrate First Class. Subsequently, in the year 1993 or so, this designation was changed and it was rationalized as Civil Judge Junior Division.
Okay.
And then under the orders of the Supreme Court, this nomenclature was made applicable across the country. So now everywhere the first step is known as Civil Judge Junior Division. After I completed 6 years of service, I was promoted to the next step, that is the Civil Judge. In those days it was Civil Judge only, which is now known as Civil Judge Senior Division. Civil Judge Senior Division has unlimited civil jurisdiction, and in Uttar Pradesh, where I joined, the jurisdiction of the civil court as a civil judge ranges from say 10 lakhs up to unlimited.
Yes sir.
This kind of jurisdiction in many high courts, including Delhi High Court, is exercised by the high court judges.
Yes sir.
Then in the year 1979, I was promoted as additional district and session judge, and then I was only 34 plus.
Okay.
At that point of time also, and even now, the minimum age for appearing in the Higher Judicial Service examination is 35.
Yes, 35.
So since I came from the UP Judicial Service, so I was promoted. Then after about 3 years, I was appointed CBI judge. Nomenclature of which was as a special judge anti-corruption.
Yes sir.
I was there in Dehradun on this post for 4 years, and thereafter I was appointed on deputation in the Allahabad High Court registry, first in Lucknow and then in Allahabad High Court. Thereafter, I joined as district judge, and for about 4 years I was district judge. Then I was appointed as Registrar General of the Supreme Court. From there, I was elevated as judge of Allahabad High Court. And in 2007, that is after 8 years of my service as judge, I was appointed as president of the UP State Consumer Commission in Lucknow, where I remained for about 5 years. Thereafter, I was appointed as chairman of the UP Judicial Services Academy, which imparts training to the High Court judge, which imparts training to the district level judges.
Yes,
that is the district judge, additional district judge, and chief judicial magistrate, civil judge, and others. Many other cadre were also given training in that institute. For example, the public prosecutors appointed in the executive service were also coming there for training. Then forest officers would also come, and many more cadres were given training there. But basically, it was an institute for UP Judicial Services training. And there I completed my term in the year 2014, and that very year I joined this Sunshine and Educational Society, the chairman of which is Mr. Vipin Sahani.
Yes, sir.
And now I have completed almost 8 years.
8 years.
So, and I'm going on as such. God has been very kind to me. Teaching is my passion, as in UP Judicial Service. Even when I was a judge of that district court, I was on deputation in the High Court as judge of Allahabad High Court. I was a regular visitor to the UP Judicial Training Institute to deliver my lectures on various subjects. So teaching has been my passion. As a matter of fact, soon after I obtained my LL.M degree, I wanted to be a teacher.
Okay.
But it was destined to be a judge. So I joined as a judge in the District Judicial Service, and then I started my journey, and by the grace of God, that journey is still going on. I have been teaching constitutional law and the legal method, the legal history, the also sometimes CRPC, law of torts,
jurisprudence,
and Consumer Protection Act, jurisprudence. So I keep on delivering lectures on various subjects, and then I also deliver motivational lectures to the law students, to the students of management, engineering students, the students of architecture college of this very society, which too I have been supervising, and then media school of law.
Yes,
so I have I keep myself engaged in various activities.
It's a great journey, as we are hearing.
Yes.
Yes, sir, because since teaching is a passion, and you are not just restricting yourself to the law.
Yes,
you are teaching to the architecture, not the technicalities, but in a motivational way.
Yes, you are right. See, as a judge, I experienced that a judge has to decide many kinds of cases.
Yes, sir.
Pertaining to the services of the engineers, to the architects, then property disputes, revenue matters. So one has to be well versed in every field when a judge decides the cases of, say, Bridge Corporation
Yes,
or
sir.
the engineering services, then he has to learn a lot about those services.
Those
also.
services as well.
So and a judge is supposed to be thorough in his studies when he is delivering a particular, when he is about to deliver a judgment on a particular subject of other fields like engineering, architecture, management, etc.
Yes, sir.
So it's how the things have been going on.
So, sir, what motivated you to move towards judicial services?
Yes, indeed, a very interesting question. When I was a law student in Meerut College, though the evening classes used to be held in that college, but library was open during the day from 8 a.m. up to 8 p.m. And then I used to come to library during the day.
Yes.
And since the district courts were situated across the road, it is opposite Meerut College. So generally I and a few of my friends used to go to the district courts and watch the proceedings. In those days it was not restricted as from security point of view. These days
Yes,
nobody without permission can go. But that was one time when peace was prevailing around, including the courts, and security measures were not required as they are required today. So I used to watch while sitting on the chairs behind the lawyers as to how the proceedings are conducted. And then I found that the job of an advocate was very tough from going, though it is a noble profession, but then it was a tough job. And on the other hand, the judges commanded great respect. They used to sit on a higher pedal and then speak in a commanding voice,
Yes,
commanding language.
Feeling like a king.
Yes, they were all powerful.
Yes, sir.
I believe at that immature age of mine. So I was greatly influenced by the court proceedings, and the judges of those days, they were very knowledgeable. Even today, the judges are well versed with law and other affairs prevailing in the society. But the point is that the court's atmosphere, the judges' powers on when they would sit on civil side to decide civil cases, they would dispose, as I mentioned earlier, property disputes worth crores and crores of rupees. And when they would sit on the criminal side, they will decide the murder trials, sentencing the convicts to the life imprisonment, even to the death sentences.
Yes, sir.
And so it was it has this experience of mine while watching court proceedings had a great impact on my mind, and it really influenced me to join the judicial service.
So, like, as a kid, you started watching judges, which inspired you a lot.
Yes.
Yes.
it
So,
inspired.
the day you become a judge, like the first day of sitting on the bench of a judge, what was that experience? That must have been a dream come true, like feeling.
See, that happened twice in my career. Once when I joined as the Munsif Magistrate First Class, that
Yes,
is
sir.
equivalent to the civil judge of
Will judge first class.
Civil judge junior division. It was really a great experience. It was thrilling, and I was welcomed by the brother judges there. I learnt with my senior judges, because in those days training institute was not in vogue. A training institute has been established in Uttar Pradesh sometime in 1988 or so. And these days the training is imparted in the training institute. But in my days of my early career, one officer has to sit with different judges along with him on the dais and silently learn how the court proceedings are being conducted by the judge, how the arguments take place, and thereafter how the judgment is written. So these court proceedings were learnt by me in that day. Then secondly, the experience while sitting on the bench of the High Court was indeed again very excited. At that point of time, the oath-taking ceremony was conducted in the Chief Justice's Court, and all the judges of the court assembled besides the room of the Chief Justice Court, beside the court of the Chief Justice, and then we walked in a very disciplined manner in the two queues, and one led by the Chief Justice and the other by the senior judge, that is next to the Chief Justice.
Yes.
And then the courtroom of the Chief Justice was jam-packed. I sat on the right side of the Chief Justice. The oath-taking ceremony was attended by my family members. They were given special seats to be occupied, and then the notification of the Government of India was read over. Thereafter, the registrar of that court read over the warrant of appointment, which was signed by, in my case, by Hon'ble Mr. K. Narayan, R.K. Narayan perhaps, if I am not mistaken, he was the President of India at that point of time. And then oath was administered to me, and after my oath, the Chief Justice handed over in a very ceremonial way the warrant of appointment to me, and that warrant of appointment along with the file cover are still my prized possession.
Yes, sir.
And thereafter the court dispersed after the ceremony was over. Then a reception was organized in the Marble Hall of Allahabad High Court, in which all the judges and senior advocates joined. My family members and my guests, they also joined it. After that function was over, then I was made to sit in a court's bench along with a senior judge, and we started again a journey in the High Court that way. So in the evening I was hosted a dinner by all the High Court judges and the Chief Justice. Me and my wife both attended it, and next day the Judges Club also gave a dinner to me and my wife. After 1 week, I on my request I moved to Lucknow bench, where I continued to be a judge up to the day of my superannuation in 2007. In between, I used to go to Allahabad to hold my court there, and it's how you say the journey started, and I felt as a judge when I was appointed.
No, it's really, the words are so beautifully that a person can imagine how it would have felt, how everything went. So I can feel that the experience of yours
yes,
have been a great. So, sir, before becoming a justice in Allahabad High Court, you were Registrar General in Supreme Court of India.
Yes, I have
So,
been Registrar.
so that shift must have been, there should have been a differences becoming the registrar and...
Yes, see, the so far as salary is concerned, the same salary was applicable to the post of Registrar General, and the same salary was paid to me as a High Court judge. But the major difference was that the post of Registrar General is an administrative post.
Yes, sir.
Or in other words, it is an executive post where the Registrar General had the responsibility to supervise the entire staff, including registrars, additional registrars, deputy registrars, and other ranks. And it is written in the Supreme Court rules that Registrar General is the principal advisor to the Chief Justice of India. And so my advice to the then Chief Justice of India was really honored by the two Chief Justices with whom I worked. And the post of the High Court judge is a constitutional post.
Yes, sir.
It is the appointment is made in accordance with the procedure laid in the Constitution of India. The Chief Justice of Allahabad High Court recommended my name on the basis of my seniority cum merit. Then the Supreme Court recommended it to the Law Ministry. Then after Law Ministry and Prime Minister's table, it went to the President's house, and from there my warrant of appointment was issued. So it is how that the appointment is made. So the difference between major difference between the two posts is that the post of the High Court judge is a constitutional post where there are unlimited judicial powers. One can issue any kind of writ, of course well within jurisdiction and on the basis of the merit only. While the Registrar General is an executive head of the office of the Registry of Supreme Court.
So what I understand that the judge in a High Court or Supreme Court gets a power through the Constitution.
Through the Constitution.
Through the Constitution.
You are absolutely right.
And the registrar, deputy registrar, or any other registrar gets a executive power which is created by Supreme Court for their own help.
Yes,
Okay,
for the proceedings.
Yes, for the proceedings. So in a basic layman language.
Yes.
The constitutional power and an executive.
But it is also a very important post.
Yes, sir.
It is equivalent to the registrar, equivalent to the Secretary to Government of India.
Okay.
And being at par with that position, whenever any functions were held in the President's house or on 26th January or on 15th August, so invitation for me and my wife used to come. That was a great pleasure.
So, sir, since you told us that you cleared your UP Judicial Service exam in 1969, so is there any difference you see? Like you told, you also trained the judges after.
Yes.
So do you see any difference in that point of time Judicial Services exam and today's Judicial Services exam?
Yes, there has been a lot of difference between the two. उस वक्त में प्रिलिमिनरी एग्ज़ाम नहीं होता था, मगर आज की डेट में प्रिलिमिनरी एग्ज़ाम होता है.
Yes, sir.
और उन दिनों में बहुत कम स्टूडेंट्स अपीयर होते थे. If I remember exactly, hardly 1100 students appeared for the UP Judicial Service exam. At this point of time, now 20,000, 30,000,
Yes,
25,000, this number of students appear. So, in order to systematize the procedure of selection, initially the preliminary examination is held, which comprises of only one paper, and it is objective type.
Yes, sir.
Those who qualify the preliminary examination appear in the mains examination. In mains, in my days, there were only 3 papers. Present day, that is almost a general knowledge paper. Then one civil law examination comprising of 2 papers.
Okay.
And then one criminal law paper, and there used to be one more paper which has been abolished now. It was a language paper, transliteration from Hindi to Urdu and vice versa.
Okay.
That doesn't now stand to be followed, but in some states there is a language paper. It is only a translation from Hindi to English, English to Hindi. In southern state, it is a local language paper, etc. At this point of time, after the preliminary examination is over, qualified candidates are required to appear in the main examination, which comprises of 6 papers. 5 main papers, that is civil law, criminal law, and revenue law, and then one is general knowledge paper, and one more paper. So this way, with the passage of time, in accordance with the requirement of the present times, the pattern of the competitive test has been changed.
Yes, sir.
And it suits now in these days when large population has grown up, and thousands and thousands of law graduates are getting law degrees and appearing in the examinations, that a systematized procedure is adopted. So this is the major difference between the 2 times.
2 times. So, sir, since listening to you has been a great experience, being a judge for such a long time, there's lots of experience having. Any words of wisdom or motivation words or suggestion you would like to give to judicial aspirants, people who want to become a judge like you, or who are dreaming to become students who are dreaming to become a judge?
Yes. See, the deep study of law pays to every aspirant. Besides legal studies, one is required to be well versed in the current affairs. For instance, what is Pegasus?
Yes, sir.
The Supreme Court has issued certain directions regarding a probe into the this kind of scandal. So every person who is aspiring to appear in judicial services competition must keep abreast with the legal current affairs, the important judgments of the Supreme Court, besides other general knowledges. Other general knowledge means, say, what is happening around our country, in Afghanistan, what has happened, what is the scenario of the world, in sports, in political affairs, etc. So every kind of knowledge is required. Besides hard work while doing studies, a person should be confident of his merit. See, when a hunter master in a circus enters the lion's cage, so it is his confidence when he watches, when he gazes into the eyes of the lion. It is that confidence of the hunter master which makes the lion subdued. Not that he is afraid of hunter. He can attack and can
bite into pieces.
Make yes, he can. The lion can make the hunterman out of his case, but then it is the confidence of the hunterman. So this kind of confidence is required, and then one is required to be a disciplined person. As a river flows in a disciplined manner within two banks apart floods, it never violates, it never breaches the banks within which it flows. So an aspirant is required to be disciplined person, to be confident. Then he must acquire other traits of a good citizen. For instance, punctuality. He should be well versed in etiquettes and manners, how he should behave with others, how he should respect his seniors and juniors, of course. So these are the traits of every person which will fetch him the better results. One is required to be in the company of good fellows, and I always teach my students that when you find that you are not in the company of good fellows, say if you find that so and so companion seems to be a bad temperament, of bad habits, then shun his company immediately. Never have contact with people of unscrupulous habits or unscrupulous character. So Swami Vivekananda also said that always be in good company, and the students appearing for the competitive test must also focus not only on their studies but on their goal, like Arjun's eye. And I have a small anecdote to inspire the aspirants for the judicial service, that when Barack Obama, the ex-president of America, was a student of high school, the teacher in a class asked the entire class to write what is your goal, what is your ambition in life. So every student wrote his ambition. Some expressed that they wanted to become a great tennis player. Some said he wanted to become an engineer, an actor, a scientist. Everybody expressed his own ambition. It was Barack Obama who said that I want to be the President of America. And with this ambition in mind, he always acted in his political life. He was a lawyer, a very successful lawyer, and he always behaved in a very respectful manner with his fellow colleagues, and he rose on the merit, on the basis of his merit, his behavior, his manners. I remember I read somewhere that once he went to a function of his real sister, and in that function he saw that his sister was not wearing an appropriate dress according to the culture or decorum, you can say so. So after being formally present for a few minutes, he left the party. So he was very well cultured person, and still he is regarded across the country of America as a very, very courteous, very well mannered person, and how he achieved in getting the Bin Laden
Yes.
lynched. So it's a history, but he has been a very successful president of America, and it was because he focused on his career, he focused on his ambition. So that I would like
Barack
to
Obama, not just for America, he is an inspiration to the whole world.
to the whole world. Yes, you are right.
Sir, coming to the end of this interview,
Yes.
having a lovely conversation with you,
Fine.
I would like to ask you to give some motivation to the youngsters of this country, to everyone, not just related to law field, but as a wide, what you can say a motivational word to everyone.
Yes, yes, I can suggest to the young classes of our country that they should take the responsibility on their shoulders, and the responsibility they are expected to take on them is manifold. They have to restrict the evils of our society, the casteism which is prevailing these days,
Yes.
the religious very hardliners on any religion, be it Hindu, Muslim, Sikh or Christian. So they should maintain such a decorum in the society that it progresses for their benefit and for the advantage of the entire country. That is the message I would like to give.
Okay, so thank you, sir. Thank you
God
for
bless
giving us
you.
your
God
time,
bless you.
sharing his such a wonderful experience, and I hope this experience journey goes for a long time, and we can come again to learn more and more from you.
Yes, you are always
So-
welcome, and God bless you.
Thank you, sir, for giving us your time. Thanks a lot. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe on our YouTube channel. For your future, we will be bringing more and more guidance video and more guests just like sir to you. Thanks a lot.